Hey guys, welcome back to another pros tutorial with Austin. Today we're going to be learning about limit switches. They're the most basic of the sensors. It just returns true or false based on whether the button is pressed or not. For testing purposes, we're going to go ahead and set this to a button will trigger the sensor and its actions behind it. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So we are in our op control file. This is during the 1 minute 45 seconds operator control period. Make sure that you have included main.h. And within our while true loop, so repeating forever, we're going to check if that button is pressed. So controller get digital. There's analog and digital. Digital is the buttons. And then it's controller master, not mater. Controller mater, the best. Controller master. And then we are going to set this to the A button, so digital A. This statement right here is either going to return true or false based on whether this button here is pressed or not. So we could say whether that's equal to true, equal to 1, or equal to true, but it's just easier to leave the statement there because this in and of itself will return true or false. So within the braces of that, we're going to have a while loop, kind of like our while true up here. So while the button is not pressed, so that's going to be ADI digital read. So we're reading the state of our limit switch, SWITCH, there we go. So we read this port, for us that's going to be port 1 is where I put mine. So as long as this button is not pressed, that's what that exclamation point is. So as long as that's not pressed, we're going to say motor move, and then we're going to set it equal to a velocity. Front left, we'll say negative 100, and that's RPM. The reason that it is negative is because we want to make sure that the left side and the right side are working together, and when you have the left side is negative, then they work together. If they're both the same, because of the way that the motors are physically placed, it will work against itself, and that is no good. I'm going to be doing a little more copying and pasting because typing is hard right now. So front right, fancy little copy, little paste. Oh, the right side cannot be negative. We don't want that. And then we change our fronts to our back. So that's our whole drivetrain. So when you press this button, as long as this button is not pressed, move forward. Then when that button's pressed, it's going to exit out of this while loop, and it's just going to stop once the button is actually pressed. So that's the basics of how you use a limit switch. There are a lot of potential applications for this, whether you're detecting whether a wall is in front of you or not, or maybe you're detecting if a game element is in your claw or not. There's a lot of creative things that you can do with a limit switch, even though it's such a simplistic sensor. So I will see you guys next time. We'll talk about the LCD screen and how to output stuff to that. See you guys then.